Hello and welcome to Planet Zoo, where I try to recreate the Antwerp Zoo in the game. In the past week, we've had some exciting news about the upcoming East Asia DLC, which will have 8 new species. In addition, the modding community has really kicked off and has been making some amazing mods. If you've not seen my standalone version of PureWinter's Quagga, then do check it out over on Nexus Mods, link in the description. In today's episode, I'm tackling the Jubilee building, which usually houses the sea lions. I say usually because the building is currently closed for renovations and modernization. The Jubilee building was constructed in 1968 for the 125th anniversary of the Antwerp Zoo. It was designed by architect René Grossemans, and the entire building and its surroundings were intended to house big cats, birds of prey, nocturnal animals, bears and dolphins. Over the years the dolphins disappeared and were replaced by sea lions. We handled the bear habitat last episode, and the big cats are for a future episode. But today I'm focusing on the centerpiece of the Jubilee building, which is the sea lion pool. As I said, the building and the pool are currently closed because of renovations, and on the screen right now is a detailed image of those planned renovations. They'll be the base for what I'm going to do today. The sea lions will get an outside pool, and their inside pool will be a bit deeper. This means the nocturnal animals have disappeared from the building. The entire thing will also be more integrated with the skywalk, so that people can walk from the viewing area for the sea lions to the skywalk and have a nice view of the zoo. So, as I have said, the recreation of this building in the game is of its intended version, not its current version. In addition, I will be using seals as a temporary replacement for sea lions, because of course we do not have them in the game yet. We might get them in some sort of future North American DLC, or someone will make a mod for them, but right now we still have to do with seals. Today's build was a bit of a challenge, not only because I'm once again working with water, but also because the seals actually have to be able to swim in it, so they have to have enough traversable area. And then we have the visitor paths. I wanted to have enough points where they could actually go and view the seals, actually go and view them when they're swimming and stuff like that. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the pool deep enough for them to deep dive, so they will only swim on the surface, and I put one enrichment item in so they would actually dive there. That works somewhat, but yeah, they just swim on the surface on the rest. So right here you can actually see me, you have that opening there in the wall, that's actually where the path goes. So that connects to the site, the skywalk, and I think, yeah, the visitors can actually walk there. So that's one of the areas where people can walk, and I think later on in the speed build I actually put a glass railing there to keep them from falling, of course. But yeah, this building is a really typical 1960s concrete building. The building style and everything, it's really, if I think about the 1960s, this is what comes to my head. Like concrete, not really that many details if you compare it to the other historical buildings in the zoo, but still it has a nice touch to it, and especially when they're going to be done with this renovation, I think it's going to be a really nice building. Now if you think about the other historical buildings in the zoo, like these 19th century buildings, this Jubilee building is actually also a protected monument. So during the renovations they are doing, I think that's one of the reasons why it's taking or gonna take some time. It's because they have to take into account all these laws and regulations in terms of protected buildings and stuff like that. But this is a game and we can just do anything we want. We don't have to worry about regulations or protected monuments and stuff like that. We can just try and recreate the vision of the architects that are working on the renovation as much as we can, based off of that concept art image that I showed earlier. So here we have this glass railing. It gives it a really nice touch. I think it does a great job of breaking up like the monotoneness, or how would I call it, of the concrete building, and gives it something nice. Yeah. Also opens up the building a lot more, like compared to how it is now. It's a really nice open building. Right now I started putting in the terrain, so that's the bottom of the seal swimming pool thingy, and I had a lot of trouble with that terrain because I had to put in the glass barriers here, and then like you can put them on the higher terrain, but then at some point you run into problems where the terrain isn't all that smooth and stuff like that. And I actually put in some concrete to hide the ground there. But yeah, I think that may have caused some more problems in terms of diving for the seals. Like they're not able to dive maybe because of that concrete being there. Possibly, but yeah, I think they need like, 6 meters of depth before they can actually deep dive, and I think it's only like 4 meters or something. But yeah, in the actual Jubilee building that they are going to renovate, they intend to have like 4 meters of depth for the sea lions. So of course, with the terrain and everything, we have to take into account. We have the spectacled bear there, the spectacled bear habitat. The barriers for that are causing some limitations on where we can put our barriers, but what I'm actually going to do a bit later in the video is I'm going to replace their barrier and actually use that barrier. I think at this point I'm doing that. Basically replace their null barrier with glass, so I can use, so they're actually attached to each other. I think I'm doing that right here, or trying to do that. Yeah, like I just switched that up for a glass barrier. But yeah, that also means that further down the line I cannot do many adjustments to that barrier. But this is their outside pool. I'm using this breeze brick instead of concrete, just to have a little difference in how the building looks and stuff like that. And then we have, I had a lot of trouble trying to get like staff path up there, because, well, the most important thing perhaps in a habitat is getting an entrance for zookeepers. And to have an entrance, you need to have them on solid ground, and that's where I struggled a bit, because basically the entire path there was suspended in the air, and now it had to transition into some terrain that was higher, and that just was a bit difficult to work with. And as a result, actually there's some terrain poking out on the back of the building. Like I had to do this to get an entrance there. And as a result, in the final product, there is actually some terrain sticking out. Now, that's where the Antwerp Central Station actually borders the zoo, like this big metal and glass construction. So when I eventually build that, I think that might cover up some of that terrain poking out, so that's not a big issue right now. But of course, everyone who downloads the zoo in the meantime will have this weird terrain glitching, or weird terrain poking out of there. So yeah, just so you know, that's the reason why. It's because of the entrance to the habitat, causing terrain to be like that. Now that's one of the major points, I think, where Frontier can do a little bit of improvement on, like multiple entrances to habitats, entrances not requiring terrain per se. Like in some cases you would have, like especially in aquariums and aquatic habitats, you'd have these entrances that just are really tiny, or are really, like don't have much of a land connection, or but yeah, over here I had to use these enrichment items, the jetty padding platforms, for the seals to actually be able to go into the water and stuff like that. And I mean, it's not the best looking thing, like it's not what it's going to look like in the end product, especially with these aquatic rocks. I don't think the Antwerp Zoo is going to use much fake rocks in their new sea lion habitat, but I think it gave it just this little nice touch, and it gave me the ability to hide some of the ugliness that comes with recreations in Planet Zoo. Like, for one, I wasn't able to get the water level high enough. Like, that's one of the many things with water. Like, you can't really have it right up until the edge of the land. or the land thing. And when you have this giant arch, I was worried that the seals wouldn't be able to swim through this arch to go to their outside pool, but I think in the end it worked out fine. Now I put in some more aquatic rocks here and chose some tundra rocks in there, or put some tundra rocks in there to have a nice little variation in there. But let's go into the live game now and have a detailed look at all the things I've done here, because I've done a lot of stuff off camera in terms of details and stuff like that. Hello, we are in the game now, and as you can see I did a lot of work. On the front of this building I added in this nice little image of a seal. I think in the real life zoo at one point they had this or a similar image of a seal or a sea lion jumping outside of the water and onto a whatever this is. There we have this nice little front here. You can actually see a seal just pushing this ball in the water there. You have the aqua form, that's the name of the sea lion thing inside the Jubilee building, so put that on there. And as you can see, there's actual people going in and walking around here. So they can actually go here, go around here, might put a path here to connect this, but yeah, they can actually go in here, and then the zookeepers can, apparently some stinky fish here, can actually go in there and go into the habitat. But yeah, they can go all the way up to this point, I think, or well, I've hidden it away, hidden it away underneath or above these the ceiling here. You can actually the visitors can't actually go in here, but I still made this because in the real zoo they would be able to go in here. Yeah, they can actually see the sea lions, or in this case the seals, swimming here. Now the water is a bit dirty, I think, or a bit not too see-through, but one of the features of the upcoming update is that we will be able to change the transparency. Yeah, this is quite nice. We have our seals. They can swim in this habitat here. They can go outside, as you can see there. And in this outside area they can actually use this enrichment item. I think they can use this to actually have a little bit of a dive. Now of course they're not deep diving, but they can do a little diving with this enrichment item. We have a rock there just for some decoration. Yeah, this is I think I did this off camera as decoration. The plants, of course, the rock there, and then this, and the roof, of course. I think I didn't show the roof on camera, but yeah, this is an open roof, and the sea lions, or in this case the seals, can actually enjoy a bit of natural elements like the sun and stuff like that because of this open roof. Now this is the terrain popping out I talked about earlier, but once we do the central station that will no longer be an issue, I hope. Yeah, we have this nice little enclosure. How the hell did that ball get back up here? I think maybe that reset. I was actually thinking about doing a mod for a sea lion, but I'm not the best at 3D models. I found a model online for a sea lion, but I don't think it will work. If you see how they move, like the seals don't really move like sea lions, which is gonna be weird if I put in a model for them. But yeah, this one is floating. Floating seal. And they pooped on this. How the hell is a zookeeper ever gonna be able to clean this up? That might be something that they could add in, like the ability for zookeepers to go in the water and swim. Okay, but this seal is having, or enjoying, well, I would say the sun, but he's in the shadow. He's banana now. Banana seal. Okay. But this has been it for this episode. Enjoy some cinematic shots of this enclosure, and next episode I will probably do the bird palace that's over here. And if you like this, please consider giving it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. See you next time. Bye!